Morning everybody, how you all doing? No hat, no sunglasses. This is for all those people who say I hide my face on my videos. So this morning's video is going to be about the subject of grifters. Grifters, grifting people who use a situation to get monetary gain. Now, what people should understand is that the minute you step into this world of activism, the minute you start speaking out against the state, you are putting a target on your back. You literally are. And I'm speaking from experience, because I get it all the time in my comments. They say, oh, you'll do anything for clicks and to get the YouTube paycheck. And these are comments that are made out of ignorance. Now, I can't speak for anybody else on this subject. I really can't. Are there grifters out there? Are there people taking advantage of the situation? Yeah, of course there are. There'll always be people like that in situations like that. But I'm guessing that, my audience has the intellect to filter out who are the genuine people and who are the grifters. I could name a few, but I'm not going to get into that drama in this video. That's not what this channel is about. I'm guessing you all know who they are anyway. So when you step into this world of activism, you're putting a target on your back. I found that out the hard way. I thought I could speak about the things I'm talking about naively. I believed in free speech. I thought, yeah, we still got free speech. Then I started going and counter-protesting the lefties. I didn't take many precautions when I first started doing it. I thought I could go to these protests, have my say, and walk away from it. I was sadly mistaken, because I grossly underestimated the absolute tyrannical nature of the far left. They found out my name. They found out my name. They tracked down where I lived, and they were insane. These people are insane. They sent me photographs of my front door at one of my old houses. They made websites up about me, which nearly destroyed my relationship. They got my email address. They were making fake accounts on dating sites and stuff like that, and all hosts of weird shit. These people are absolutely batshit crazy. They really are. They've contacted employers, ex-employers, because they thought I was working for them. Now, fortunately for me, a lot of the ex-employers that I've worked for, I'm very good friends with, because it's the security industry. It's a very close, tight-knit sort of thing. Your boss is usually your friend in those sort of situations. And they've informed me that people have been contacting my employers, ex-employers, and stuff like that. So when you step into this world, you're risking everything. You really are. You're risking everything. You're risking your life. You're risking your livelihood. You're risking everything. That's why I've got nothing but respect for the people that are boots on the ground, front and centre, because you've got people like Callum down in Epping and Sarah. You've got people like Tommy Robinson and others that have all put a target on the back that will never be able to go back into mainstream employment again. Most of them won't even be able to set up their own businesses, because nobody will touch them with a barge pole. This is how insidious the far left actually are. They try to wreck your life. They can't win the arguments, so they try to wreck your life. They try to shut you down by nefarious means. This is how they operate. So I just want to put that out there. So before you go to people's comment sections saying, oh, you're a grifter, you're making money from your activism, some people have no choice. Some people have families. Some people still need to put food on the table. They still need to pay bills and that sort of thing. And think about what they're going through before you post, because a lot of what people put online is just the tip of the iceberg. It's the tip of the iceberg for what they're really going through. I'm speaking from experience. A lot of what happens behind the scenes I don't put on the internet for obvious reasons, because it would tip the far left off as to my activities, and I don't want to give them the satisfaction and gloating about any victories that they might have, because they have had victories. They have got me fired from certain jobs. They have managed to prevent me from getting certain jobs. Now that's on them. That's on their character. They may think they're scoring victories, but in reality, all they're doing is just proving how absolutely batshit crazy and evil they are. Because they're not taking just food out of my mouth and my partner's mouth, they're taking food out of my kids' mouths as well. Because by proxy, they're being attacked as well through my activism. This is why a few months ago I made a video. I was ready to jack it all in. I was like, yeah, I'm done, because I didn't want to put my family through any danger or anything like that. I've got the full support of my partner and my children. They respect me. They say, yeah, you've got to do this, you've got to talk about this sort of thing, because ultimately it's for their future. It's for my kids' future. I'm doing this. That's why I want my country back. That's why I'm getting my country back. It's for them. I don't want them to have to fight the battles that I've been through in my life. I really don't. It should be every parent's duty to pass on a safe environment for their children to grow up in. That's what should happen. And it should be the duty of the government as well to pass on a safe country to the next generation. And our political class are not fulfilling that promise. They've broken the social contract. So it's up to people like me and you and anybody else that's speaking out as an activist to make sure that happens. That's what I'm doing it for. That's why I'm in this fight. That's why I'm doing it. If I have to, I am trying to monetize the channel. If I have to earn a wage through the channel, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Because it takes the far left's tactics off the table. Because whilever I'm in employment, I have to watch what I say. Because the minute I go full into this, absolutely full into this, and start doing the things that I want to do that are coming up on this channel, I know I'm probably never going to get employed again. Not in where I live. Not where I live. It's an absolute lefty stronghold, Chesterfield, Labour-run council for absolutely decades. It's lefty central. It really is. And most of the employers, most of the people who are in the institutions around here are all left wing. That's just a part and parcel of living here. Now, I know this video is going on, but I just want people to understand the thinking behind some people, and not just to run in there and just accuse somebody of being a grifter without knowing the full story about them. They may not even put the full story out on the internet. That may be a way they protect themselves. If I'd have got my time again, definitely, I would have kept my private life completely private and not given anything away about that. Because it's just giving the people who once you start doing this, they will look into your life. They will check out your social media. They will do that. They gleaned most of my information from my Facebook page, which I don't hardly use, so it had old information on, thankfully. So they got quite a bit wrong. But yeah, they will look for you. They will search for you. These people are insane. So before you start throwing out the accusation of, oh, you're a grifter, think about what you post beforehand. Think about what the person is going through in their own life and what they might not be. Think about yourself. Just think about yourself. What things don't you mention to people in public that you keep to yourself because it's private and you don't want people to know about it? Think about that before you make the accusation of grifter. That's all I'm saying. Now, obviously, there are some grifters out there, and you will know who they are. because they'll be putting very little effort in to what they're doing with their activism, whereas they'll be taking a hell of a lot out regarding monetary wise. That's what they'll do. That's what they'll do. They won't be willing to get their hands dirty and go out there and protest. I've protested, I've counter-protested. I've got a protest coming up soon that I'm going to. So I am boots on the ground, and I want to be more boots on the ground, but doing that means risking everything. I'm absolutely risking everything by doing this, but it needs to be done, and it's my risk. It's my risk, but I'm willing to take it for our children's future. It has to be done. That's why I make these videos. Making these videos alone could get me a knock at the door from the police, given the current climate in this country. But it has to be said. People have to stand up and talk. They have to have their voice. We can't let them silence us. We can't. Because the minute we go silent, they win, we lose, and this country goes down the shitter. This is Vindicator, signing off.